My name is Ngang and we're from Team 11. Today our presentation will be about an overview of our portfolio management report. Here are our outlines. Firstly, investment strategy and goals. Secondly, three portfolio explanations. Thirdly, comparison between our portfolios to the benchmark. And finally will be the conclusion. If you have any questions, please wait until the end of this presentation. Here are our investment strategies and goals. As we have known, the most important objective of an investment or portfolio is to maximize its profit and minimize the risk, which can be achieved by diversifying portfolios. With the initial investment funds of 10 billion Vietnam dong, we have chosen the small blend strategy to manage our portfolios because it is the combination of value and growth strategies, so we can minimize or avoid some certain kind of risks from the two strategies. Furthermore, in order to generate the portfolios, we take into account the quantitative, qualitative, and technical factors of the stocks. Here we have one passive and two active portfolios. Next, let me explain a little bit about our portfolio management process. There are 7 steps after observing and analyzing macroeconomic and industry indicators, as well as historical performance of each sector. We will make a choice of sector and then selection and allocation of securities by looking at securities' fundamental and technical factors. Afterward, we will adjust portfolio weights and securities by examining the previous portfolio performance. This process keeps repeating like a cycle because stock market changes every day. Here you can see in the passive portfolio weight pie chart, we have total 8 sectors and the portfolio allocation is mainly allocated to financials 40.74% and consumer non-cyclicals 33.01%, and the rest are distributed to the others. So let's have a look at how securities are allocated. The portfolio includes 30 stocks that we have investigated. Here are the stock weight. The highest stock weight is belong to V&M with 23.05%, followed by Vingroup by 15.84% and Masa at 7.65%. By looking at the graph, we can see there is no active return as the portfolio return is equal to benchmark, which is 0.98%. Because we are holding the same stocks and weight with the benchmark. Moreover, we would like to provide you some information about the top and bottom 5 positions of this portfolio. The noticeable stocks are the HE that has the highest return and HIG that causes us the largest loss. Now I would like to move to the section of portfolio risk. Here the risk of the portfolio is 13.05 and same with return. There is no checking error and the Sharpe ratio of minus 0.59 shows a negative sign. This means that the portfolio return is lower than the risk-free rate. However, the benefits of this passive portfolio are low research cost and stable return in long run. Now let one continue with the other two portfolios.
Hi everyone, my name is Quang and I would like to continue. In our portfolio, we have portfolio number 1 and portfolio number 2. In the portfolio number 1, we include fundamental analysis, technical analysis, quantitative factors, qualitative factors. In the portfolio weight, there are 7 sectors in total. The healthcare sectors had the highest percentage with account for 30% and utility is 29% and it is the second highest. Secondly, I would like to mention about the stock weight. We have investigated about 15 companies and we come up with this weight ratio. More than half of our portfolio security are overweight, especially is the HG with 30%. Next will be an allocation and selection effects. In the sectors allocation effects, financial sectors had the highest rate with 0.824, while consumer non-cyclical has the lowest percentage as minus 0.249 proportion. Additionally, in the sector selection effects, the financial sector still had the tallest proportion with account for 0.559 and minus 0.084 for the utility sectors. It's also the smallest one. Move to the security selection effects, we can clearly see that KBC occupy 0.409%, the largest ratio in the top 5 sectors, while in the bottom 5 sectors, the lowest company is BBC, the top to the negative. 0.047. Move on to the portfolio return. KDC is the company that has the most return with 7.23, and in the bottom 5 position, the FPT has 0%, which means they have no return. So our portfolio return is 2.24, while benchmark's portfolio has only 1.011, which means the gap between our portfolio and benchmark is 1.299%. All of you may know the higher return usually go along with higher risk. So this is the reason why our portfolio has higher return. In portfolio 2, we will discuss the same factors as portfolio 1, but we add the reviewing active portfolio 1. Firstly, we will talk about the sector weight. Here, utilities and industrial sectors have the largest rate, which account for 30% and 20% respectively. Next, about the stock weight, most of our portfolio securities are overweight, especially the BBC with 20%. In allocation and selection effects, we will first talk about the sector's allocation effects. In the top 5 sectors, utility sector account for 0.691% and staying at the top in the top 5 sectors, while in the bottom 5 sectors, the lowest is the consumer non-cyclical at minus 0.366. Next, the sector selection effects. The consumer cyclical sectors has 0.559, the largest, and the smallest ratio is belong to consumer non-cyclical at minus 0.084. Move to the security selection effects. MWGs occupy 0.409%, the highest, while MSN is the lowest at minus 0.047. About the portfolio return, BBC gained the most return as 8.94%, while KDC has only 0.76%. As you can see that our portfolio return is 4.622, is double the active one return portfolio. As I mentioned above, our portfolio risk has 10.8%, which is higher than the benchmark by 5.54%. Even though we have a higher return, but we also have the higher risk. Now I would like to pass to Lee to continue.
In the next session, I'm going to compare and contrast the 3 portfolios. Firstly, let's considering the return. As we can see in the graph, the passive portfolio had the same return as the benchmark at 0.98%. Based on our portfolio analysis factor, we come up with the active one, which brings more return than the passive strategy at 2.24%. This shows that our portfolio is outperforming compared to the benchmark. After readjusting, the active 2 had higher total return as well as active return than the active one, with 4.622% and 2.111% respectively. However, along with the high return, they are increasing in the level of risk. It's illustrated clearly in the next graph. In the passive portfolio, even though our return is the same with the benchmark, but the risks were too high at 13.05%. In the active portfolio 1, the total risk is exceed the benchmark risk at 4.9%. However, it's much smaller than the passive strategy in short-term performance. However, moreover, the active 2 have higher risk than the active 1 due to higher return. To be more specific, let's concern the allocation and selection effects. Allocation effect measure the ability to effectively allocate assets in terms of sector. The statistics show that our 2 portfolio has positive allocation effect, indicating that we are choosing good sector to invest. Besides that, we need to look at the selection effect that measure the ability to select the good security related to particular sectors. As we can see in the graph, active one have negative selection effect, which means we are putting less weight in the security that performing well than the benchmark. That's why the active one return is lower than the active 2. Now, I would like to sum up the result of our portfolio. After the portfolio process, we had only more than 10 billion Vietnam dong, while half of the profit comes from the portfolio 3, and we will choose the portfolio 3. Thank you for listening. And are there any questions?